Welcome to the video guide of the Okapi Blouse. The Okapi Blouse is a top-down knitted blouse with a folded neckband and a slip stitch pattern. We're using two different types of yarn and two different colors. Here I've used a merino single from La Bien-Aimée and a Kumo from La Bien-Aimée. The merino singles is 366 meters per 100 gram and the Kumo is a 300 meters per 50 gram. Do not try to work the Okapi blouse with a Kumo that is 420 meters for 50 gram. It will not be nearly as lovely as the 300 meters. Well, this to a side, we have a saddle shoulder construction where we have 4 stitches along the shoulder line from where we do make our increases. And then finally, when we start working the sleeve stitches, we do some decreases to get a tailored fit in the Okapi blouse. But don't worry, everything will be described in the pattern. I'll now show you some of the details to help you along while working your Okapi blouse. Let's get started knitting. For this version of my Okapi blouse, I have decided to use these two colors. This one again is the La Bien-Aimée merino singles in the color Alba, and here you see the 366 meters per 100 gram. My Kumo is also from La Bien-Aimée. It is a Suri alpaca, and the yarn name is Kumo, and you can see here it is a 300 meter, 50 gram, and the color here is a sienna, but one of those that there is only few of a kind because it was not, didn't turn out quite as planned, but I think it's a beautiful one, so I did not hesitate buying this one. Well, let's see how the stripe pattern will develop in these two colors. The neckband is the easy bit. We simply cast on stitches and start knitting in the round. Cast stitches on loosely because afterwards we want to pick up stitches in these cast on stitches. So we cast on and then we knit 4 rounds with our needle size 3.5, that is the US 4. And then we change to our needle 2.5 and do another 4 rounds in knit, then 1 round in purl to make this purl rich, and 4 rounds again in knit. And now again we change back to our 3.5 millimeter needle and work 4 rounds in knit again. You can maybe see, might be able to see here where I have changed back to my larger needles. We make this change of needles to be totally sure that our neckband will get a most beautiful rounded fit like this. And now we are to pick up stitches for to knit the cast on edge together with our now next stitch. Well, and so find the cast on loops like this, and then you pick up one by one. In every cast on loop, pick up 1 stitch like this. Take your time. This will be such a beautiful finish to your Okapi blouse. Simply pick up 1 loop for each of your cast on stitches. So there should be the same number of stitches in your picked up stitches as on your needle. Let's just do that for all stitches. Now I have picked up stitches in my cast on loops on the knitting, and I'm ready now to fold the neckband around the purl ridge and make sure that my larger needle, my working needle, is in the front and my smaller needle, the one where I have picked up stitches, is in the back. And I will now get ready to work them together, knit them together actually. First of all, I do have a few stitches left on my needle in my last round of the neckband. I just kept them there so that my stitch marker wouldn't move. And for the Okapi blouse, I strongly recommend you use numbered stitch markers. It will be such a pleasant knit process for you if you do use these numbered markers. So I'll place my marker 1 again on my right hand needle and get ready to do this knit together. So I will knit through 1 stitch from the front needle and 1 stitch from the needle in the back, like this. Again, 1 stitch from the front needle, and I will catch 1 stitch from the needle behind and knit these 2 stitches together. Be careful, do not tighten up the yarn too much in this process, because then it will destroy the beautiful fit you just made an effort to achieve. So knit together, and when I say don't tighten up the yarn too much, don't make this process too tight, it is because when we work things that are not so common for us, for our hands, we tend to knit a bit more tight. So just continue 1 stitch from front, 1 stitch from the back, and knit together. Yeah, we will do this all the way around until our needle in the back is useless, has no more stitches. Have a look, it will be folded like this. It's really nice and tidy. Yeah, now I'm almost at the end. I have 2 stitches left to knit together, and I will simply do that. 1 from each needle, like this, and again 1 from each needle, like that. Oops, and now my 2.5 needle is out of job, so it can be put aside. I now reached my number 1, and I should maybe mention that when you pick up the loops from your cast on stitches, you must be absolutely sure that the one you pick up as the first one is totally aligned with the first stitch on the needle, and then you can sort of follow that and then make sure that you pick up also the first loop in the cast on loops. In this way, your neckband will be like this one, totally nice, and it will not drag diagonal. And now you can almost see the idea that the neckband is rounded very nicely because of the changing of needle sizes. Well, this is very well done. If you are that far now, I think you should make a break and have yourself a cup of something nice. This was step number 2. After your tea break, we will go to the step 3. Yes, after the tea break, it is time for step 3. On this round, we will place our markers. Marker 1 is already here, and in round 1 on this, we will place marker 2, 3, and 4. So the first thing we'll do is knit 4 stitches. We have here 4 stitches, and then place marker 2. Oops. From now on, I will knit the number of stitches mentioned in my pattern until I get to next shoulder. So this is our first shoulder. This is our left shoulder. I'm now knitting the stitches in the back. until I have enough stitches for that, and then I'll place more markers. And now I have enough stitches, so I will place my marker number 3 and knit 4 stitches that are to be our right shoulder. 4 stitches and place another marker. Now I'll knit all the stitches in the front until I'll meet marker number 1 again. Now this is the last stitch on the round, and here is my marker 1. So now I have placed my markers, made sure that I have 4 stitches between these markers. I'll just slip this one back so that the marker doesn't get off. And 4 stitches between these 2 markers. I have counted my stitches in the back and in the front, and I've made sure that there are 12 more stitches in the front. We need 12 more stitches in the front for our short row work. So these are the 4 stitches on the shoulder, here and there. And now I'll start working short rows in order to make the opening wider, or deeper, I should say, in the front than in the back. I'm now ready to start step 4. We will be working 18 rows back and forth to make this shape in the neck opening. So first of all, slip your marker number 1 and knit 4 stitches, and then slip marker number 2. Make one right leaning stitch. So I will just make 1 stitch leaning to the right, like this. I will pick up the loop from behind and knit 1 stitch. Then I will knit all the way to marker number 3. And now I am nearly at marker 3. Here we are. I'll now make 1 left leaning stitch. I will pick up the loop from the front and work and knit 1 through the back of the loop so that my stitch is left leaning. You see the front part of the stitch is leaning towards the left. Slip the marker and knit 4. Slip another marker, the marker 4, like this. Knit 2, 1, 2, and now this was the end of row number 1. We will turn the work and work the wrong side, like this. Row 2, 1 German short row stitch. So I will slip the loop with yarn in front, slip the stitch to right hand needle and drag the yarn so that on top of the needle, so that 2 loops appear. And now I will knit 1, and there is no increases on the front, so I will simply knit to marker 4, and here this is only 1 stitch, and then I will slip the marker and purl 4, because on the shoulder part we will work in stocking stitches, stockinette stitches also mentioned, and on the rest of your blouse from now on we will work in gather stitches. I will slip my marker number 3 and make 1 left leaning purl stitch. I will pick up the loop from the front and make a purl 1 through the back of the loop. Now I have a left leaning purl stitch, and I will knit to my marker number 2, and Please note this is knit, not purl. So now I am nearly at my marker number 2. Right, this is the back stitches. So I will make a right leaning. I will enter the loop from behind and purl the loop like this. I will get a left leaning, right, I will get a right leaning stitch, drag the yarn tight, slip the marker and purl 4, slip my marker number 1 and knit 2 stitches. I will now turn the work around. This was my row number 2. So just to recap, I have now made new stitches on row number 1 and 2 in the back. I have not made any increases in the front. Right, we are now at row number 3, a right side row. We will again make a German stitch. Enter our stitch from right to left, purlwise, with the yarn in front, slip the stitch and drag the yarn on top of the needle so that 2 loops appear. Now I will knit all the way to marker number 1, and in this case it is only 1 stitch, so I can manage that. I will slip the stitch and knit 4 stitches, slip the stitch, and now again I will make a right leaning stitch. I will enter my loop from the back and make sure like this that I can actually knit it like that. So the stitch, the loop will be leaning towards the shoulder. Now I will knit all the way to marker 3. And you can already now see the ridges appear on our right side. Yep. Now I am almost at my marker 3. Here we are. I will now make 1 left leaning knit stitch. I will pick the loop up from the front and work a knit 1 through the back of the loop. Slip my marker number 3, knit 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4, slip my marker number 4 and knit 3 stitches. No, knit to 3 stitches after the German stitch. That is, knit 1 stitch, and here I can clearly detect my German stitch with these 2 loops. So this is my German stitch. Just knit it, and then 3 stitches more. 1, 2, 3, and turn the work. Make another German stitch, enter the stitch purlwise, slip to the right hand needle and drag the yarn over the right hand needle to the back, and then make sure you get these 2 loops. Then we knit all the way to our marker 4, marker number 4. Knit to marker number 4. Here we have marker number 4. Again, we do not do any increases in the front stitches, so we just slip marker number 4 and purl 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip our marker number 3. Whoops. And now we will, on this row number 4, we will make a left leaning purl stitch, pick up the stitch from the front like this, and then work a purl through the back of the loop. Here we get the back of the loop, like that. tighten up the yarn and knit all the way to marker number 2. And now I am at marker number 2. I will make one right leaning purl stitch, so I will pick up the loop from behind and purl one on the front leg of the stitch or the loop. Slip my marker and purl 4, and slip the marker, and again these are the front stitches. We will not do any increases here, simply knit until 3 stitches after the German stitch, which is this one. So I'll knit the German stitch and another 1, 2, 3. This was my row number 4, and I can turn the work. Oh, look at this, my garter stitch knitting is appearing very nicely here, and on the shoulder stitches I have stocking stitches. Right, let's continue to row 5. Again, there's a German stitch. Slip the stitch purlwise and drag the yarn to the back so that 2 loops appear. Now knit to marker number 1, slip the marker, knit 4, slip marker, make 1, enter from the back of the loop, and knit on the front leg of the loop, like this. Then knit all the way to marker number 3. Here I am at marker number 3. Yes, I will now make 1 left leaning stitch. I will pick up from the front. I will knit through the back of the loop. Here we go. Slip the marker, knit 4, slip marker, and knit to 3 stitches after the German stitch from the previous row. And I find that one easily because it has these 2 loops. So I'll knit, just make sure I get the right way into it. I will knit 1, the German stitch, and then 1, 2, 3 more stitches, and this was my row number 5. I will turn my knitting and make a German stitch, slip the stitch purlwise to right hand needle and drag the yarn on top of the needle and behind the work so that the 2 loops appears. I will now knit to marker number 4, and here you can see how convenient it is that the markers have numbers. I will knit to marker number 4, slip this marker and purl 4 stitches. Slip my marker and make 1 left leaning purl stitch. Pick up the loop from the front and purl on the leg from behind. Here we have a left leaning purl stitch, and now we will knit on the way to marker number 2. Now I am at number 2. I will make 1 right leaning purl stitch, pick up the loop from behind and work a purl 1 on the loop, slip the marker, purl 4, slip the marker, and knit 2 3 stitches after the German stitch. Here it is, the German stitch, and another 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, this was our row number 6, and again we have increased 2 stitches in the back part. Look at this, now we can sort of start imagining the texture in our knitting. Now here begins step 5. First of all, we will break the yarn, always leaving a good fair bit for weaving in ends. Yeah, and now we will go to step 5. Here begins step 5. On the following 12 rounds, we will be working back and forth to make short rows and, shaping the lovely neck opening. I've changed to yarn B, but first of all, I'll make my German stitch with the yarn that I have just broken. So I will say slip the stitch to right hand needle, drag the yarn to the top and to the back so that these 2 loops appear. Hold the yarn and then start using the yarn B. And now according to your pattern, you start, according to your size in the diagram, you will now start the slip stitch pattern. So I will have 3 stitches to knit and then 1 slip stitch with the yarn in back and knit another 3 stitches. And now I'll start the increases in the front as well as in the back. So I will make a left leaning stitch here, pick up the yarn from the front and knit through the back of the loop like this. Slip marker 1 and knit 1, 2, 3 and 4 stitches. Slip the marker and make a right leaning stitch by picking up the loop and knit. I just sort of drag a little bit in the yarn like that to be able to knit it, and then again tighten up the yarn. Now I will knit 3 stitches and a slip, 1 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and slip 1, and this is the repeat, the knit 5, slip 1. This is the repeat I will continue all the way to the next marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, slip 1. So I have repeated now my 5, knit and slip 1 until 3 stitches are left, and it should be 3 stitches because I also had 3 stitches in the beginning of the back. So make sure that your stitches are symmetrical, the same in both sides, otherwise you have made a counting error somewhere and you have to find out now. Although this is a moment where you just want to knit quickly, because it's so exciting now to see how the 2 colors will work together, but still it has to be the right number of stitches. So I have here 1, 2, 3 stitches and make a left leaning, I will enter from the front and make a knit 1, slip, knit 2, 3 and 4 stitches, slip the marker and make a right leaning, go into the loop from behind and knit 1. And again, it has to be symmetrical, so 1, 2, 3. Also you could look in the diagram, slip 1 and then knit until 3 stitches. Just want to be sure. Yes, until 3 stitches after the German stitch. This one is the German stitch. And 1, 2, 3. And here you will not pick up stitches for the slip stitch pattern in the stitches after the German stitch. Turn the work and get ready for row number 8. Again a German stitch, slip 1 stitch and drag the yarn to the back, and now knit to the first slip stitch you'll find. And here I have my slip stitch. I will slip that one with yarn in front now because I'm on the wrong side, and knit again until I meet my marker number 4. And now make one right leaning purl stitch, pick up the loop from behind and purl 1 on the loop, slip the marker, purl 4. Slip the marker and make a left leaning, pick up the yarn from the front and purl on the back leg, through the back of the loop you could also say, like this. And now knit, or no, work in your slip stitch pattern all the way to marker 2, which means whenever you meet a slipped stitch from the previous row, you slip it again, now with yarn in front. Yes, simply continue like this and get ready to see how nice it is when you turn your work around like that. Now I am at marker number 2, so I'll make a right leaning purl stitch, pick up the loop from the back and purl on the front leg. Slip the marker, purl 4, slip the marker, make one left leaning, that is pick up the loop from the front and purl on the back leg of the stitch like this. Now knit until 3 stitches after the German stitch from the previous row, or more correct I should say, work in the slip stitch pattern to 3 stitches after the German stitch. And here remember the German stitch is still in the collar A, and if it has sort of slipped to the front, just drag it to the back now and knit the German stitch and another 3 stitches. Now again drag the yarn tight and 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. Turn the work, da 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 da, and now we can start to see how our colors will work together. We have now increased 4 stitches on the row number 7 and the row number 8, and we will continue now on the following rows to increase on at all markers, so that we will increase every time we meet a marker. And well, I'll just work the row number 9 and 10, and we will meet again at row number 11 where something nice happens. Now I have worked row number 9 and 10, and let's do number 11 and 12 together, because here some new magic happens. First of all, a German stitch, slip the stitch purlwise and drag it to the back, knit to marker number 1, and there we are. This is really knit. This is not, we will not slip the slip stitch, we will work over. We will knit all stitches now. So here was my slip stitch, now I have worked it in knit. So this is really where the pattern will appear for us. And for me, I haven't made a sample knit in this yarn because this is my Okapi Blouse number 3, so I didn't need to make a sample knit. So I haven't seen these two colors together yet, so I can't wait. So this was knit to my marker number 1. Again, I will make a left leaning stitch. So, and slip the marker and knit the 4 shoulder stitches like this, and again slip marker and make a right leaning stitch like this. I will help myself, oops, like this, so that I can find the loop when knitting it. And now all the back stitches, which is where I am now, will be worked in knit, also the ones that we have slipped on the 4 previous rows. So here we have a slip stitch, I will knit it, and then it gets this lovely pattern will appear. Yeah, let's continue. Same thing will happen when we come all the way to our markers. Here we will again make new stitches, and then on the row number 12 we will again knit all stitches. So let's just see how that will appear. I'm now at the end of row 11, and I will knit my German stitch and another 3 in my size. It might be something else in your size. I will turn the work around and get ready for row number 12. Again, I will make a German stitch, slip the first stitch purlwise and drag the yarn to the back. Now knit all stitches on this row, except of course for the shoulder stitches. They are still worked in stocking stitches or stockinette stitches, which means now as we are on the wrong side, we will have to purl those. Let's just do that together. Knit all stitches all the way to my marker number 4. And I approach it. So here we have marker number 4. First I have my right leaning purl increases like this. Here we are. Slip the marker, and now comes the trick that I was wanting to show you. Of course, it is still a purl on the 4 shoulder stitches as they are to be stocking stitches. Slip the marker, and now we'll make 1 left leaning purl stitch again, so that we will now keep our work where we do increases at each marker. Yeah, just continuing knit all the way. Look at this. Ooh, so nice. Oh, can't wait to see the next color appear. Now I am at the end of row 12. I'll knit my German stitch and another 3 in my size. 1, 2, 3. And now I will break my yarn B. I will not need it at this point or spot any longer. So break yarn B, turn around, and let's just have a look at this. Oh, here it comes. I have been working my 2 former Okapis with a sort of more spectacular contrast. So I'm very keen on seeing this one be a bit more romantic and not so noisy. Now I will again take my yarn A. First of all though, in my yarn B I'll do the German stitch. So slip the stitch, purlwise with yarn in front, and drag the yarn into the back. Here comes then my yarn A. And yarn B I can just put aside so that I will not have tangled yarn. Right, and now I will start. Here we will begin our weaving pattern or slip stitch pattern according to where I have the pattern from the previous row. So I will have to make sure that my pattern will start with a slip stitch in the middle of the 5 knitted stitches. So here we have 1, 2, and here I'll start my slip stitch and then 2, 5, another slip stitch on this one. So knit 3 and slip a stitch. So 1, make sure there's enough yarn, 2, 3, and slip 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip a stitch with yarn in back. And here it gets interesting. I need to make sure that 1, 2, my stitch number 3 will be on top of the stitch from the previous row. This looks really promising. And 2 more, and slip 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I slip 1 here? So slip 1 and make 1. Yeah, that will be possible. So I have to make a left leaning stitch here, pick up stitch, and if you have noticed when I pick up the stitch, and it can be hard to sort of get the knitting down here, so I simply sort of circular around like this. Then I'm ready to do my knit 1 through the back of the loop. Tighten up yarn, slip the marker, and 4 knit stitches at the shoulder, slip the marker and make 1 right leaning like this. Ooh. Again, I must make sure that my slip stitch pattern will be the same on each side of the shoulder. Otherwise, I've made some errors. I've counted wrong or forgotten increase. Things happen, but here I should have only the one stitch that I made, and then slip 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip 1, and here it gets exciting. 1, 2, 3 comes on top of the other one, which is really good. Then I am all through the woods. Look at this. Here we can start feeling the pattern coming along. Just continue with these 6 rows back and forth again. The row number 13 to 18 is still short rows. It is still working back and forth. Let's meet when these 6 rows are done. This was row 13 to 18. I have now finished these 8 rows, increased in back and front, but still on the shoulders we only have these 4 stitches in stockinette stitches. And now we can clearly see the pattern coming forth. We are now, from now on, we will be working in the round, so I will break yarn A again. Here we go. And let's together continue at step 6. So step 6. From now on, every other round is a knit round and every other round is a purl round. Thus we will continue our gather stitch pattern. But first of all, there are some preparations. The GST, we have our last stitch here from the previous row. I will slip that stitch purlwise with yarn in front and drag the yarn to the back. Now I will slip all stitches to the right hand needle without working them all the way to marker number 1. And keep looking in your pattern. You might have a size that already now has to go to the shaping of the sleeve. But my size here, 38, it's a medium. What is it, a 12 in UK sizes? Will now still have another 6 rounds before we will shape the sleeves, and other sizes as well. Most sizes actually, it's only this very smallest size that is now preparing for the sleeves. But we are slipping all stitches all the way to marker 1. Like this. And here is my marker 1, and now I can begin round 19. Change to yarn B, of course, 6 rounds with every color, and make 1 left leaning in yarn B. So I will make a left leaning stitch. Oh, tricky this one. There it goes. Left leaning. Drag the yarn a bit. Slip the marker and knit 4 shoulder stitches. Slip the marker and make a right leaning increase. Make 1 right leaning. Now I have to work in my slip stitch pattern, so I'll just have a look here. I will need to have a slip stitch here. 1, 2, again. I will need to have a slip stitch in the middle, that is here, and then in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have another slip stitch here. So knit 3 and slip a stitch. 1, 2, 3. You can just have a look in your diagram to see how many stitches you are to knit before you start your slip stitch pattern. So this was 4, 5, and now slip 1. And I would love to have my number 3 stitch here on top of the former slip stitch, and that is exactly what I have, so I am on the right track here. So now simply continue in your slip stitch pattern all the way around. Make the increases as mentioned in the pattern at every marker, and then let's meet again at marker 1. Make sure on these establishing rounds, the rounds where you establish a new slip stitch pattern, that all the way around you check, make sure that the slip stitch from the former row, the previous row, is in the middle. This is a good way to detect if there are mistakes. So have a close look at your knitting, and I can see that I have a problem here. Look at this. At some stage I have made a slip stitch with the yarn on the wrong side. I can fix that, I don't have to go back. For this I like to have smaller needles, so I will place my needle in the stitch like this and then slip the stitch, and here grab the slip stitch. I know I have to knit the stitch, this slip stitch, twice. One time from the right side with the yarn coming from here, the yarn from row 5, and afterwards one time with the yarn from row number 6. Simply knit with yarn number 1 and purl with yarn number 2. That means we need to have the yarn ready for the purl, like this. So now this one should look exactly like the other slip stitches, and it does. So don't panic if you see mistakes. Most of them you can repair without having to unravel. Let's meet at marker 1. I'm not quite at marker 1 yet, but I have reached my GST, my German stitch, and the yarn has moved to the front. So I will simply drag that to the back, make sure that I have a German stitch looking stitch here with its 2 loops that I can knit on top of, or just knit these 2 loops. And I make this effort to make sure there will not appear a hole in the knitting at this point. So just knit your German stitch and drag the yarn tight, and then continue in the pattern that was, I have 2 now, 3, 4, 5, and slip 1. And maybe again make sure the yarn is tightened well up, and continue to marker 1. I'm now nearly at my marker number 1 again, and I can make sure that the things are, the slip stitch pattern is right if I have 3 stitches at the end and then my new stitch from the beginning. I will knit this one once more. So this one I have knitted twice in this round. That is totally all right. Let's have a look. Now we are at round 20. We're still working on the right side, but now our slip stitch pattern tells us to purl these stitches. Still, the stitches on the shoulder will be worked in knit. First of all, make a left leaning stitch as the first thing to do. Left leaning, slip the marker, knit 4 stitches, and was this only 3? Yeah. Slip the marker and make a right leaning stitch, knit stitch, there the yarn and just knit the stitch. Now here comes our slip stitch pattern. Purl all the stitches until you meet your slip stitch, and the color difference is not so significant in this yarn, but here was my slip stitch, and purl then from now on 5 and slip 1 stitch. Continue in this pattern all the way around. Make the increases at every marker. Remember the shoulder stitches are knit in knit, and the others you have to work in purl. Now again I have reached my marker 1 in the knitting, and from now on I will just continue in the round as I have showed you now. So you will make another knit and slip and another purl and slip, and after that you'll have one round where you knit all stitches and one round where you purl all stitches. Then I will show you how we will develop the sleeve in my size. I have now finished my row 24 and my stripe is complete. In my size I can now go to step 7, shaping sleeves. In larger sizes there will be another 1 or 2 stripes to work, but never mind, I will show the shaping of sleeve. It is the same in all sizes. Good. Step 7, are you ready? Here we go. First of all, without making a new stitch, we will slip the marker, and now the new stitch will be made inside the shoulder stitches. So slip marker, make 1 right leaning stitch. Make sure to have enough yarn to be able to weave in ends comfortable. Good. Make 1 right leaning. I did that. Knit 2. Make 1 left leaning in the middle of the shoulder here. And again, knit 2. Make 1 left leaning. Like this. Here we go. Slip the marker. Now these stitches, these 7 stitches are the shoulder stitches. I made 1 in the middle, and I'll only do this one time because I want to have an uneven number, an odd number of stitches in the shoulder. So this was my shoulder stitches, and I slipped my marker 2. Knit 1 and knit 2 together through the back of the loop. Knit 1 and knit 2 together. I've got them here, but through the back of the loop, like that. Now we're trying to shape the shoulder like a tailored jacket, really. And then work slip stitch pattern to 3 stitches before our marker number 3. Where is my slip stitch from the previous? It's here. So my slip stitch is this one. So I'll knit another pair of stitches. Slip 1, and then from now on knit 5. Make sure on this establishing round that you get your slip stitch pattern right from the beginning. Now let's meet again at marker 3. Here we are, 3 stitches before our marker number 3, and we will make knit 2 together in the fluffy yarn. Knit 2 together, knit 1, slip the marker, and here the sleeve stitches. Make 1 right leaning, knit 2, make 1 left leaning. Bit hard to see because the yarn has the same color as my skin nearly. Like that. Now knit 2 and make 1 stitch. So now, please note, all the making of stitches is now inside the shoulder stitches, inside the 2 markers. And when that is done, I will slip the marker, knit 1 and knit 2 together through the back of the loop, so that I can do the shaping of the shoulders. And now, again, I have my slip stitch pattern to be aware of. If I do a slip 1 now, it will fit totally into the pattern. Continue slip stitch pattern until we meet at marker 1. Yes, I am now 3 stitches before my marker number 1, where I am to knit 2 together and knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1. This was the end of row number 1 in my step 7. I will again continue to row 2, slip the marker, make 1 right leaning stitch, and now in slip stitch pattern to marker 2, but however I will not make any slip stitches in this stripe. It will wait until I get to my stripe number 2 in the sleeve. So I will just purl all stitches to marker number 2 and make a left leaning stitch. Here we go, left leaning stitch, slip the marker, knit 1, knit 2 together through the back of the loop. We are still shaping on each and every round. Continue in slip stitch pattern, which means purl all stitches and slip all slip stitches all the way to marker 3 stitches before marker number 3. 3 stitches before marker 3, knit 2 together, knit 1, slip the marker, make 1 right leaning, and now purl to M4, marker 4, make 1 left leaning, always easier, slip the marker, knit 1, knit 2 together through the back of the loop, like this. Work in slip stitch pattern all the way to 3 stitches before marker 1. 3 stitches before marker number 1, knit 2 together and knit 1. Now this was round number 2, and from now on I think you will manage, but take a moment to enjoy how suddenly from a shoulder the magic appears, out of magic appears a sleeve. Every time I do this, going from the saddle shoulder to the sleeve, I feel like magic. I still remember the first time where I thought I couldn't figure out before working this how it could be done. But hey, now you've done it. It might be a bit difficult to see right now, but here in my orange and purple version, I'm also very fond of that one. Here you can easily see it. First of all, you have the first stripe where there's no slip stitch, then there's 1, 2, 3 slip stitch stripes, and here the sleeve emerges. Here the sleeve appears out of nothing. You can see again here my first stripe in the sleeve has no slip stitch. It's made in the merino in these sizes. And then please remember, when you start the slip stitch pattern in the sleeve, make sure to get the a slip stitch in the center stitch. It is also in your chart, in your diagram shown, but also be aware to get your slip stitch in the middle. It's just a nice thing. Maybe nobody will notice, but you will know. Here you can also very clearly see the decreases in the shoulder line, the thing that makes it really nice and tailored. And here in the finished blouse or sweater, you can see the sleeve coming from the shoulder, turning into a sleeve, and also notice we try to get the slip stitch in the center. And here you can see how the tailored decreases in the body will shape your sweater. But please also notice that on the body it is not all the way in. You will not find the tailored line going all the way in here. It will still be in the edge of your shoulder and then gather under the sleeve for a very nice fit. So don't worry that it might seem a bit wide while working it. But try on your blouse and find out exactly what you prefer. This is my Okapi and I love it. I will now continue my just started sleeve in my little project here. So I will continue with increases in the sleeve part and decreases in the body to achieve this lovely tailored fit. I have shown you all the techniques, and I trust you will be able to just follow your pattern now and do the increases in the sleeve and the decreases in the body. So we will continue the decreases in the body to a certain point where they will stop, but still we will work these 2 stitches in knit on all rounds to get this lovely line. At some stage also you will stop the increases in the sleeve when you have achieved a certain number of stitches, and from there on you continue in the round with no shaping until the knitting measures a certain length. And I'll now show you where to measure that, because there has been some unsecureness among the test knitters in this subject. So just hang on, because then I will now show you where to measure. You have to find the point where your shoulder line ends. It's right here, and then you place your measure band at that point and measure along the 2 knit stitches. I have also placed a photo in the pattern of that, but I will also show you here How much do I drag my knitting? I often hear that. You'd never drag your knitting, but you place it on a table and you make sure it lays flat on the table. Never, and I repeat, never measure anything laying on your lap. Our lap is lovely, rounded and soft and not suitable for a measure placing. So place a measure band at the top of your shoulder, just where the shoulder stitches turns into sleeve stitches like this, and then make sure the knitting is laying flat. It has a tendency to drag together, so or to sort of crump up, but make sure you straighten it out, not dragging, and then measure along the line of stitches here like that. So my knitting is now from the top of the shoulder and to the end, approximately these 18 centimeters. You will have to find out what inches that would be if you are measuring in inches. Both things are mentioned in the pattern. So I'll have to go another few centimeters, until 19 actually, before I can start shaping for the sleeve hole, the armhole. Again, yeah, for the armhole. In step 11 in your pattern, you will see that when you have reached a certain length, you will again begin to do increases in the sleeve as well as in the body for the armhole. And after that, there'll be some stitches to be cast on under the sleeve, and then you can work your body stitches. You might have to do some decreases to get your pattern right, to get it even all the way around, and you'll just have to make that fit in your size, and I'm sure once you get there, you know your pattern so well, you will manage. So I hope I have made you secure for the knitting of the Okapi blouse. Now have fun and let me please see your work on Ravelry. That would be the best way to thank me for this video. I also hope you will enjoy to go to Ravelry and see all the lovely projects of Okapi. Look at this one, and also this one will soon find its way. And of course, once I get a little bit further, I will also make a project on Ravelry with this one. When you do projects on Ravelry, we love to see the yarn before it is worked into the blouses, because it does always give a lot of inspiration to which colors will fit. Also on Ravelry, you will find many more patterns from Pure Knit and Purl, mostly made by Lisa Renner, and that is me. And I hope you will enjoy all the lovely things you can do just with Pure Knit and Purl. Have fun.